So history of IV anesthetics. First attempt at IV anesthesia was done by Wren in 1656. The opium was the drug that was used first. Perez Cyprian Ore did first successful attempt at IV anesthesia in 1872 by using chloral hydrate to anesthetize a human. Afterwards, intravenous paraldehyde was used during World War I. The combination of IV morphine and scopolamine was used in obstetric anesthesia. And the thiopentol was used first time in 1934 and propofol in finally 1977 by K. N. Rowley. What is triad of anesthesia? There are three components of anesthesia we are talking about: amnesia, analgesia and muscle relaxation. Hypnosis is an integral part of GA. The process of making the patient fall asleep at the onset of delivery, a general anesthesia, is called induction of anesthesia, and it could be achieved by agents administered through intravenous route or by the inhalational route. So the type of anesthetics are two types: inhalational and intravenous. Inhalational are usually gases or vapors. Those are usually used for the maintenance of general anesthesia, or in the pediatric cases it can be used for the induction as well. By intravenous injections for induction and short procedures supplement GA, provide sedation and protect the brain. So the classification we will be talking about it is divided into two groups, that is the intravenous opioid anesthetics and intravenous non-opioid anesthetics. So the intravenous opioid anesthetics, the naturally occurring are morphine, codeine, papaverine, thibine, and the semi-synthetic are heroin, dihydromorphine and thibane derivatives, that are buprenorphine and etorphine. The synthetic ones are morphinane series, that is the butarphenol, diphenylpropanamine series, that is the methadone, and the benzomorphine series, that is the pentazocine. So the non-opioid anesthetic agents that we usually use are the ultra short acting barbiturates in the form of thiopentone and the methoxytone. And the most commonly used anesthetic agent, IV anesthetic these days, that is the propofol, that lies under the alkyl phenol group. Phenylcyclidine derivatives, that is ketamine, benzodiazepine, diazepam and midazolam. Imidazole compounds, that is etomidate, that we usually use in the cardiac patients. Alpha adrenergic agonists are the dexmedetomidine and the butyrophenol droperidol. Drugs not commonly used these days are the propanidate, althazine and etonophenol. So what is ideal IV anesthetic agent? So a drug that should provide hypnosis, amnesia, analgesia and muscle relaxation without undesirable cardiac and respiratory depression. So no single drug is ideal. The future of anesthetic management involves the simultaneous use of various drugs including inhaled anesthetics. So thus the skillful use of multiple IV anesthetics is not only possible but preferable. So what is the general mechanism of action? What do IV anesthetics do to cause a sedation, to cause hypnosis? What does it actually do? They interact with the inhibitory GABA aminobutyric acid neurotransmitter system. So GABA is the principal inhibitory neurotransmitter in CNS. GABA type A receptor is a receptor complex consisting of 5 glycoprotein subunits. When the GABA A receptor is activated, transmembrane chloride conductance increases, resulting in hyperpolarization of the postsynaptic cell membrane and functional inhibition of the postsynaptic neuron. So, what is the pharmacokinetic principles behind it? The lipid solubility facilitates diffusion of IV anesthetics across cellular membranes, including blood-brain barrier. Only non-ionized form is able to readily cross neuronal membranes. The ratio of the non-ionized to ionized fraction depends on the pK of the drug and the pH of the body fluids. The rapid onset of the CNS effect of most IV anesthetics can be explained by their high lipid solubility and the relatively high proportion to cardiac output, that is 20% perfusing the brain. The pharmacokinetics of the IV hypnotics are characterized by rapid distribution and subsequent redistribution followed by elimination. So pharmacokinetic basic principles is the primary principle for terminating the central effects of IV anesthetic administered for induction is redistribution from the centrally highly perfused compartment, that is the brain, to the larger but less well perfused, that is the peripheral compartment that contains muscle and fat. So most IV anesthetic agents are eliminated by hepatic metabolism followed by renal excretion of most water soluble metabolites. So we will be talking about the different groups of the IV anesthetics. Now we'll start from the barbiturates. So what is the history of barbiturates? Barbituric acid, a combination of urea and malonic acid but lacks sedative properties, synthesized in 1864 by Adolphe Baer. Barbital, whenever it was first used in 1903, so it had its sedative properties. So first time the thiopentol was used in 1934 and later in 1941 for the induction of injured personnel after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, which caused sudden death, emphasized its profound depressant effect on the CVS. Later analysis was done and it was proved wrong. So most frequently used IV anesthetic in underdeveloped nation is still thiopentol. So let's talk about the chemistry. It is a derivative of the barbituric acid, a hypnotically inactive pyrimidine nucleus formed by condensation of malonic acid and urea, oxygen at position 2 and sulfur at position 2. Oxygen at position 2 in the oxybarbiturates and sulfur at position 2 in thiobarbiturates. These are the two different type of barbiturates, oxybarbiturate and thiobarbiturates. So based on the type of duration of action, these are divided into 4 types, that is the ultra short acting, intermediate acting and long acting. So usually we use ultra short acting for the induction of anesthesia. Those are the thiopentol, methotrexate and thiamyl. This is the different structures of the, this is the thiopental, thiamyl and methotrexate. So talking about now sodium thiopentone. Then what is the preparation? How is it made? The thiopentone is prepared as 2.5% solution. It is water soluble. The pH is more than 10.5. It remains stable for up to 1 to 2 weeks after refrigeration. Coming to pharmacokinetics, great lipid solubility and high non-ionized fraction account for maximal brain uptake within 30 seconds. So short duration of action, that is 5 to 10 minutes following IV bolus, which reflects high lipid solubility and redistribution from the brain to inactive tissues. So fat is the only component in which the thiopentol continues to accumulate 30 minutes after the injection. So duration of action is determined by redistribution in this drug. And after redistribution into the peripheral compartment, which lowers the plasma and brain concentration values to 10% of the peak levels within 20 minutes. So repetitive administration of barbiturate saturates the peripheral compartment, so the redistribution cannot occur and the duration of action becomes more dependent on the elimination. So elimination half-life ranges from 3 to 12 hours. So it is not using daycare surgeries because the elimination half-life is very much long. This is how the drug is metabolized, and we have this is the percentage of dose percentage of the dose of the thiopentone used in the blood. Slowly the decrease occurs starting and eventually it eliminates at 300 minutes, and in the muscle component it reaches the maximum level after 10 to 20 minutes. The peak level has achieved in the muscle and takes a long time to come to baseline. So the constant elimination occurs from the muscle group because maximum is redistributed into the muscle group. So metabolism. In liver except phenobarbital, the metabolites are inactive, water soluble and excreted in urine. Renal excretion is important in the elimination of phenobarbital. Sodium salts are water soluble but markedly alkaline. pH of 2.5%, that is the thiopentone has more than 10 pH. So the concentration higher than recommended cause an unacceptable incidence of both pain on injection and venous thrombosis. So coming to the mechanism of action, it depresses the reticular activating system, preferably affecting the function of the nerve synapses rather than the axons. So it suppresses transmission of the excitatory neurotransmitters, for example acetylcholine and glutamate. enhanced transmission of inhibitory neurotransmitter, that is the GABA-A. The GABA-mimetic effect at slightly higher concentrations may be responsible for what is termed as barbiturate anesthesia. What is the cerebral effects of thiopentone? It constricts the cerebral vasculature, there is decrease in cerebral blood flow and ICP, so the cerebral perfusion pressure is increased and there is decline in the cerebral oxygen consumption, that is less than 50%. A dose-related depression in cerebral metabolic rate of oxygen consumption and the slowing of the EEG. It protects the brain from the transient episodes of focal ischemia, that is the, for example, cerebral embolism. So the cerebral blood flow redistribution and inverse steal phenomena occurs with the thiopentone. The acute tolerance and dependence on sedative effect develop quickly in cases of these. So coming to the cardiovascular effects, there is fall in blood pressure due to vasodilatation. The peripheral capacitance vessels vasodilate. This causes decrease in venous return. So decrease in venous return is compensated by tachycardia, that is a central vagoelectric effect or the compensatory baroreflex. In hypovolemia, cardiac heart failure and beta adrenergic blockade, cardiac output and BP fall dramatically. So a slow rate of IV injection and an adequate pre-op hydration could attenuate these serious changes that occurs by the thiopentone. And respiratory effects, these causes depression of the medullary center, it decreases the ventilatory response to hypercapnia and hypoxia. It leads to upper airway obstruction and apnea. So it completely doesn't depress the nauseous airway reflexes. It can cause hiccuping and it should not be used in asthmatic patients, COPD patient, and in light patient it can cause laryngospasm as well. So other effects are the renal blood flow is decreased, GFR is decreases as greater in proportion to the BP fall, and hepatic blood flow is also decreased. What is the doses of thiopentone that we use daily in routine for the induction is 3 to 4 mg per kg, and the onset is within 10 to 30 seconds, and the maintenance IV dose is 50 to 100 mg, that is repeated 10 to 12 minutes. So induction dose is titrated with according to loss of the eyelash reflex. So what are the uses of thiopentone? Basically, for the induction of the anesthesia, the treatment of the increased ICP, and the treatment of status epilepticus. And the next we will continue to the next lecture. Thank you so much.